So name is Kyle Roberts. Company is AdImpact. I head the company. I'm the CEO. Company started back in 2014. I've been in this industry for approximately 30 years now. I started initially, graduate of Manhattan College. I moved down here to Washington, D.C. Started working in a political advertising firm. I was a media buyer there. I had done that for many years. I've worked on literally hundreds of campaigns, probably thousands. And then 2014, I started another company called AdImpact, which I now head and run and really truthfully enjoy every day going to work and innovating and coming up with ideas. The software industry is just so much fun. Building platforms, creating products that customers want and that solve complex problems is really, I think, a challenging but a lot of fun, really enjoyable thing to do. It's changed a lot and evolved a lot. Why? Because the advertising space has changed and evolved a lot. The needs of the market have changed and evolved a lot. And so the company will change and evolve as those dynamics change. Just one example, when we started AdImpact, the first thing that we did was collect all linear broadcast spending across all DMAs in the United States, right? We started with that. And we started to do just large campaigns that we're spending. Over time, there became a need to do every campaign. Today, we track more than 2,000 campaigns across linear and I think about 10,000 across digital. So it's really large. We're tracking everything in real time, all that spending. As we began to take all that data and the data visualizations, the products, the UIs to the market, the feedback from the market was, this is great, but can you put creative in there? We want to see the ads along with the spending. We knew that was more of a challenge to build that tool and to create the technology. Then we built a second tool called Pharos, which gave us the ability to see how much individual advertisers are paying for specific programs. It's a great idea. It's a great tool. You can run these different comparisons. Again, when we brought it to market, people liked it, but the feedback was, can you put creative in here? So in 2016, we built the tool to detect over-the-air creative, which, the system has been built out. We're tracking creative in 210 DMAs, approximately 1,100 broadcast stations, about 60 national cable networks, a bunch of local cable networks, and some local DMAs too. So it's a fairly robust system that's evolved over time. But how has the company changed? It has changed as the marketplace demands for tools, right? The market asks for things, we want to deliver those things to the market. Yes, they are challenging, no question about it, but if there is a need, we want to build the tool and we want to solve the problems that exist in the marketplace. Definitely the space has evolved. Why? Because advertising has evolved so much. Why? I mean, streaming, just think about that. The internet has just changed so much. While it's been a great force for humanity, it's also a very disruptive force in the advertising space. And so we have to keep up with that. So, of course, tracking linear broadcast, tracking linear cable, these are all great things, but you also need now to reach out to these other inputs, streaming inputs that have a lot of creative. A lot of them are ad supported. Not all of them are ad supported, but a good portion of them are ad supported. And so we have to be able to track and estimate the spending and the activity within streaming and connected devices. So that's a focus for the company. Just the space itself demands you change because just the technology in the space is changing. The other piece is customers demand change. Because they're facing new challenges. Agencies are facing new challenges from the brands that they represent. Campaigns are facing new challenges because they want additional data. Why? People want to know how this creative is influencing audiences. attribution, right? Are people spending? Are people consuming as a result of the advertising? What action are they taking? So you're seeing this constantly. You're seeing a lot of pressure now to have these answers, or at least to formulate some kind of answer to these questions that are coming from consumers in the space. Lots of things to be excited about because there's a lot of change in the environment. Certainly getting into the streaming devices and detecting ads, that is definitely a focus for us in the future, no question about it. The other thing, I love working on product, love working on UI, creating intuitive UIs that look good and that answer questions quickly with very little input from the user, right? Having answers, having data right at your fingertips that you know is actionable is a big focus now and will be a big focus in the future, because right, COVID has changed the way people work. People are not necessarily in the office anymore. They're at home. They're on multi-screens at home. They're also on mobile devices at home. They're on tablets at home. You have to have tools that can be responsive to the different technology environments that people are engaging in, but also reflective that they're not in the workplace anymore. So could there be collaboration across these UIs, easy collaboration across the UIs? All these things that we see now because the workplace is changing and the demands of customers are changing. It's all stuff we're working on now and to orient ourselves toward the future.